It was a protest like never before in Nigeria, and the sad memories and impact linger. The NSAS protest of October 2020 came and went away. But whether our lives changed or remained the same afterwards continues to generate debate. As Nigerians mark the 5th anniversary of the NSAS protests, Nigerians renew the call for justice in what they term an unfinished struggle when streets across the country shook over chants of frustration brought by abusers by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS. Have we really learned something from that experience? Kaidi.
Yeah, have we really learned something from that experience? It is not, I want to be objective here. I think it depends on leadership. The current IG and especially the immediate the immediate past, the image maker of the police, we're still understudying on day, and I think it's doing well so far. They've actually demonstrated that police can be civil. They've actually demonstrated that we don't need to maltreat people as if they are not humans, but we can't take away the rot that is still existing in the system. But they're doing everything. The way they expose the policemen, the way they do a whole lot of people who are messing up the system is quite commendable. For me, I think it's neither here nor there. If you are waiting for total cleansing of the system, then we might be asking for too much. However, looking at NSAS, we also remember that at the time, NSAS went beyond the brief. NSAS went beyond, let us agree on what we want. And they got what they want. Then it later turned to regime change. It later turned to robbery. It later turned to all kinds of things. So when we are talking about have we learned our lessons, we must look at it holistically. Lagos, I think it's just recent time they are trying to recover from the DNA beautiful edifice that were built. We are yet to recover from those wanton losses and waste of lives.
Lagos will never recover.
Exactly.
Because
look at the buses,
terrible. The courts,
the buses that were burned.
So it is both ways in terms of whether we need to learn the lesson. Violence should never, protest should never turn violent. The authority should also learn to be civil. And when I say this, I like to put it in context because sometimes we feel it's only in Nigeria the police always engage in brutality. There was one viral video like that where you see that policeman mishandling a black woman, and I was like, God.
If you remember this video, this is Mariah, while the station was attacked.
This is a bad memory for me.
This TVC, exactly. This is, in fact, a very, very bad memory. A bad memory.
Most of the awards won by this program went up in flames.
Exactly. The equipments,
most of the awards.
I wasn't in TVC, and the pain I felt.
Yes.
I was just remembering all my colleagues that were working here then, and I'm like, this is totally wicked.
As the videos went viral, we saw ladies scaling the fence.
In fact, I believe they are not just protesters. I believe they are killers, they are assassins.
The original protest was hijacked. You cannot deny that. But that's the lesson we've learned, really. That while we do not want to stop people from exercising their fundamental rights, there must be limits. For that, I'd like to commend some policemen who have done very well. Like you said, Miwa did well. The head of RSS,
that's
Tunji Disu in Lagos was fantastic because there was a time that his boys were under pressure to revert back to the old police mode.
All right, JKB, we need to go on this quick break, and when we return, we're going to be talking that have we really, as the government, been able to address the issue of police brutality and youth discontent? We'll get to talk about that right after this break. We're back to the conversation. It's still Journalist Hangout. So before we went on that break, GKB, I asked you, looking at the NSAS protest, do you think the government has been able to address the root cause? The root cause, police brutality, youth discontent?
Well, again, like they said, you have to put it in context. the original problem was NSAS, which itself was an interventionist agency. It was not the original purpose of the police. They were created because after the war, criminality with armed force came forth. So they had to create a special agency to tackle that. As of the time the youths were talking about to NSAS, it has become notorious, basically to ensure that young people can no longer walk on the streets without being profiled. And the profiling is turned to another criminal aspect that is affecting our youth. So they rebelled, if I can use that word. That was the original purpose. For that, the government has done well.
Okay.
They took them off the streets. They were reorientated, and they were brought back to be more civil. During the course, some other police components showed civility that can be done, like I was saying about RRS and some particular mobile policemen who did very well to, despite the fact they were under pressure, decided not to fight back. Because if you remember, they camped at Lagos House, Alausa. The same time they camped at the toll gates.
Lekki.
And there are more people at Ikeja than toll gates. But the policemen there were so professional that they ensured that the thing never got out of hand. So, of course, we cannot mention names on our program, not to give the impression. But as an insider, to contain this, some of us know exactly what really happened. That's why, no matter what Mr. Sanwo-Olu does as a person, I always believe that the way he comported himself during that period was one of the reasons why Nigeria did not catch fire to the level it could have. Because a lot of people after Lagos was bombed, a lot of people came into the system, basically targeting strategic locations in Lagos, including the old stations of TVC. If the governor has not shown leadership by himself, because the level of insults he got when they got to the toll gates, and the fact that we are trying to stone at him, nobody could try that with my former governor in Oyo State, the late Ajimobi. He will tell you the story of your grandfather. But Mr. Sanwo-Olu,
and if you remember this Soros, okay.
Mr. Sanwo-Olu took it all in his prime. It was his calm demeanor that really helped calm down things.
Even went to them.
And they said they sold him, they called him names, they took his cap. But it was very, because I know governors, even now, don't dare do that.
I won't take that.
Your grandfather will remember that they came to Lagos with neighbors, because he will show it to you. So, like I said, there are many heroes that came out of what happened 5 years ago. But at the end, the original purpose achieved, yes. Personally, I think by now, based on what happened, we'll have community police. I thought that by now, 5 years later,
it should have
state police. That's what I thought.
We are close.
I thought that by now, based on what happened,
We have missed it, so but we are close to getting there.
we need to get community police, we need to get state police, we need to get regional police. That's what we need right now.
Okay.
Because we cannot escape the fact that there always be malcontent.
All right. Let's also look at the way the government handled the post-NSAS issues. You know, do you think the way it was handled, could improve trust in the justice system?
Yeah. So I don't know, because thank God we're not too young not to know what happened. So before we talk about post, what was the purpose of the NSAS? In my view, the purpose was well achieved. Going into bad governance, going into all those things, looks like there's not going to be an end. I don't want to go, because this is a sensitive issue.
Yes,
people will remind us that there were bloodshed, I'm not being sensitive. Yes, those issues. There was a tribunal that was set up. Was it a tribunal? There was a meeting where all this, in fact, a friend, Nelson Ekwujimi, documented all his experience, because he was a witness at that particular, remind me the word, is it tribunal? There was a sitting they were doing.
Anti-SARS tribunal.
Yes, post the whatever happened.
NSAS panel.
NSAS panel, thank you. So a lot of issues were there to be resolved, but at the end of the day, maybe they didn't respect it. Government could not implement everything that is there. Government was a victim. The people were victims. we all became victims because government, in fact, this present governor is still struggling to recover from that high level of setback that he experienced. TVC, thank God, were able to recover with a better edifice and some other things. But that, when I remember that thing, I was not in TVC, but I'm still weep. Coming to TVC to see what happened, to see how people, some people have not recovered mentally. What they went through, everybody that was in the office that day, they still remember with so much pain.
Because I remember I was in Lagos.
There's somebody's car that was burnt. People's
we were stoned with machetes, cutlasses. It was.
So what are they looking for? What exactly are they looking for? So whatever lessons that need to be learned, we should continue talking about it. But for me, let us be civil. Let us be clear on what we want.
No, but,
any ulterior motive to protest
finally, before we
must
go,
be discouraged.
The systemic reforms within the Nigerian police, do you think it's enough to prevent a recurrence of such abuse? Well, just in a few seconds.
Mr. Igbetokun's administration have tried very hard to bring things down. Because I remember that I was speaking to one of his PSO, the Commissioner of Police, Ahmed Latif. And then we realized the fact that the level of things that have come down to the state level is so much. I'm talking about policing now. The level of community police they've set up, the regionalization of the police, the manpower training that they've done, you will not believe that it was not the police of 5 years ago that's the police of today.
That's true.
But again, it's very difficult for a pig to tell you that it's no longer moving in the mud. It's going to take far longer. But I can tell you, being an insider, because I cover the police very well. I know exactly what's going on.
And for me, the consolation is that we're close to getting state police. We're very close. Because we have a president who believes in it, and we must stay on this matter.
And the governors also want it.
The governors prefer it. The president's buy-in is what we are looking for. Okay. Now we have gotten it.
All right, then. All right, gentlemen, it's a fine place for us to leave it. GKB, thank you so much for
always a pleasure.
Appreciate you. Kaidi Ladendi, as always, thank you so much for doing this.
I'm really troubled by this last topic.
The last topic, you know, it was in fact emotional.
No, you can do it on your program.
All right then, but anyway, gentlemen, and that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Yes, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight